Hi guys, welcome to CloudVai. In today's video, I am going to discuss how to perform this asynchronous multi-master replications in PostgreSQL using Bucardo. Well, these are the things I am going to discuss in short. I'll be creating my source systems, that is Postgre, in a EC2 machine, and thereafter I will do the detailed steps how to install Bucardo in AWS EC2 machines, along with this all its prerequisites. Thereafter, as a target systems, it could be anything. It could be another EC2 machines, it could be a Aurora, but just for the sake of the video, I'll be creating a RDS PostgreSQLs as my target systems. And the last steps, as a step 4, I'll show you how to replicate from source to destination. Okay, this is the simplest architecture design you can find for Bucardo. This is something I am having a source DB which is in the EC2 machines. I am having the controller, that is a Bucardo controller, which I am gonna install on the EC2 machines. You can install the Bucardo either in the source on the destinations any side, or the different EC2 machines altogether. Here I will be installing the source DB side, because for the destinations I'll be using RDS. So that's why, from the my source DB on the over the EC2 machines, I am going to install the Bucardo. Basically, you have to just add this source and target to the Bucardo. There is no direct relations where it should be stayed. Okay, so this is the high level steps. What I am going to do, that I will be putting all the steps in a kind of a in a document, maybe in a websites. I'll be providing the link in the below in the video, so you can refer the document. But just for the as a high level steps, these are the points. At the beginning, I already launched a AWS EC2 machines, a Red Hat machine. Thereafter, I'll be installing the PostgreSQL as a source DB, and then I'll be installing the Bucardo prerequisites, install the Bucardo, and then I'll be adding the source and destination database, source and destination tables, and then start the Bucardo replications. And also I'll check the status of the Bucardo replications, how it is impacted. Okay, so let's proceed. So this is the EC2 machines I have just launched. Let me log in. I'm also already logged in. Now the first steps, I'm going to install the PostgreSQLs. I will be doing a little bit quick because this is already been known. Now disabling this the default PostgreSQL using from DNF. Put the listening address from star from everywhere. Also, for sake of this video, I'll not put any password on this MD5 or any other things. I'll put as a trust, but real time you should not put as a trust. I'll also put from 000 by 0. Okay, after this thing I need to restart the DB. The server process restarting. Now my Postgres is installed, I believe. Good. I'll create a source database. And then create user, say by cloud by with password. Okay, done. I'll do the later stage. I'll be creating some tables. I'm not going to do any insertions because now there are many prerequisites needs to be installed before we can start installing this Bucardo. So I'll be doing one by one. First we'll need wget and git. Then there is a requirement of Perl dbixf. Thereafter I have to download this dbixf using wget, and okay, I also install Perl dbi. I need to install this PLCTL, that is PostgreSQL PLCTL. PL Perl. Okay, I just search this thing, so thereafter I am going to install the same. Yum install to install this Perl dbdpg. Perl test simple. Perl dbi. Okay, it's already installed. Because I'll be only showing how it will replicate the data from an existing legacy system to the other one. Definitely if you have existing data, then you have to do this pg dump and the pg restores. But here what I will be showing that how it will just replicate the data, not the existing data. So I am not going to do any kind of restoration steps. What I'll only do, I'll just take the metadata, and I am going to install the metadata my destination database, and that way I can replicate with the newly created data from my source to destination database. Okay, and also Perl. Now I am going to configure this dbixf. Make test and make install. Done. Next steps, I'm going to install the Bucardo. Okay. It's not J, it's Z. Okay. Okay. Make. And the last option you have to run it as sudo. Done. So which Bucardo? Okay, 5.6.0, it's installed. Now for the Bucardo, I'll go back to my Postgres. I'll create the database for that. Okay, SQL, create. It requires an internal database, so I'm creating a database. Bucardo, and create a user Bucardo with password and just for the sake of this video, super user, it's not required. Okay. So when I will be doing this Bucardo installation, so I'll be using this database, so it will create some of the metadata and the other objects which is required for the working as a for the replication purposes. Okay, as I said, I already had another database called CloudVi source. So let me log in as CloudVi. Database is CloudVi source. My purpose is that I will be creating a table, maybe 2-3 tables, and I will be later I will be inserting some rows to show you that if the replication works. Let me create some tables in sequence. Okay, so I already have 3 tables. That's sufficient. Okay, the another thing is that this is very important that for the Bucardo applications, whenever I will do some kind of insert, update and all these things, that every table should have some kind of primary key. So I'll be now logging to the pgadmin as a front-end tool, and I'll be creating the primary key of each and every table so that Bucardo can do their applications. So this is my pgadmin. I'm going to create a server, say EC2 source. Connection should be my public DNS. Okay, maintain database is cloud by source, cloud by okay, because it doesn't have it's failing because it doesn't have this entry, so I'll put a TCP 5432 and for everywhere. Now it should able to connect. Okay, you can see that this is my source, and it does have 3 tables and I believe some sequence, 4 sequences. Now for the tables, if I'll go for the employee tables properties, it does have a primary key, that is good. Go for the order tables, order details, this also have a primary key, and the last one is phone book, doesn't have, not null, primary key, put as a phone PK. Okay, so what I have done, I have checked and one of the table doesn't have any primary key, so I added a primary key. This is needed for the Bucardo applications. Okay, let's go for Bucardo install. Okay, before do that, what I need to do that, I need to get the host, that is a private IP of the host, and the p directory I have to create this directory. This is not exist, so I'll just queue now. Let me create the directory. Also hostname. Okay, let me put the hostname. This is the 3 or 4 is same because my user is Bucardo, database is Bucardo, and 5 is also same. Let me proceed P. So now it's completed. In these steps, before going into the further, I am going to create the RDS PostgreSQLs, and then I will just take a PG dump of the only the metadata from source and I install there. This is now creating the RDS database. In the meantime, I am going to take the PG dump of the structures of the tables and the synonyms. So this is the command, this is the PG dump, host is the IP address or the internal IP address, port is 5432, DB name is cloud by source, and the user is cloud by. Okay, let me see this schema.sql. So these are the things, there is some sequence, there is some tables. So once my RDS is ready, I am going to put this, install this particular file into this RDS. Yeah, so it's already come up. You can see that. um, okay, so the same table structure and the sequence structure I install on the target database as well. The next steps, what I'm gonna do, I'll be adding these databases and adding the tables. So let me add this as a route by source. Okay, here let me add this as source db. Okay, I'll add as a source db. The next part I will be adding the same things as target db. I have to change few steps like the db host. Here let me put as a target db, and I have to change the db host, copying from rs endpoints. Okay, for this here I am putting the passwords, but normally you can put this variable in a pg pass or any kind of in a file, so that you don't have to display the passwords, since it is just a testing system. So I am displaying the passwords. Otherwise, for real systems you can put it as a variable. Okay, now the next steps, I am going to add the tables. I know what are the tables I am having. I mostly have 3 tables: employee, order details, and phone book. Okay, let me check once again. This is employees. No, it's no comma, that's a space. Order details and phone book. Yeah, it's normally hard is a bunch of tables, and we have to define the one hard for both the source tables and the destination tables. So my source is source db, and I'm putting a hard as a copying hard, or I can change the hard name as, say, cloud by hard. Okay, so followings are added. Same thing, same command, I'll do that as a target db. So you can see that, okay, Bucardo list dbs and Bucardo list tables. You can see that there is a 2 db source db and the target db, and there are 6 tables, 3 each. Okay, and their respective primary key is also showing. Similarly, I can add the sequences. Okay, you can say there are 6 sequences, both the source DB and target DB. Next step, I will be adding this DB group. Here I will be putting naming as a DB group as EC2 to RDS, and the source DB is source and target DB is target. Okay, looks like this is not taken. Okay, next step I will be adding this Bucardo synchronizations. So I'll be putting the name as a synchronization name is a sync EC2 RDS. The release group is cloud by hard, and the hard name, and the DB source DB and target DB. Okay, now let me see the status of my synchronizations. It says it's active and table in sync for 7, and no records is found. I will do the Bucardo restart. Okay, looks like I have to create this directory as well, or log Bucardo, and then restart again. Okay, then okay, status. Now it is tip. We'll try to insert some of the things, and we'll check if there is any changes there. Okay, I'll open the query editor. You can see the 3 deleted, 3 inserted. Okay, I'll check page whether they came or not. Okay, you can see the 3 records has come. Okay, let's do for another one table. You can see okay, so this time we have done for order details. Three rows, good. Let me do something for sequence as well. So we can see that how we can replicate asynchronous the multi-masters, because both the database can be accessible and they are not master and slave, both are masters, but the replication is asynchronous because maybe it's a simple inserts, that's why it is automatically replicates, but immediately replicates, but it's asynchronous applications. And this can be done for the legacy applications to the cloud, non-cloud, any Postgres. So we can do that for Postgres is on-premise, Postgres in RDS, Postgres is and Aurora. So this is only the difference here. Only I didn't have any existing data. Otherwise, if you have any existing data and you want to replicate, so before do the replications, please do a pg dump and pg restores. I have not done the pg restores, and I have not, since I didn't have any data. I have done many of the arguments like grep -v, so that I won't take any kind of steps. But if you have some data, please do the pg dump and the restore to the target database, so that your existing data will be sync up, and then you can do the rest of the steps. Okay, so that concludes today's sessions. I understood you got a overall picture how to do this multi-masters asynchronous applications in PostgreSQL. using Bucardo. Thank you.